Welcome to Module 1 of Records Management 101 for Houston ISD employees. In this first module, we will cover our responsibilities as school district and local government employees and district policy CPC legal. Keeping records neat and orderly at HISD is an important part of everybody's job. Care must be taken when handling work records, particularly with those containing confidential information. A record can come in many different formats: email, a written note, information in a database, an electronic file, or a formal document. For records containing confidential information, there are legal requirements on how to retain them with legal consequences to you and the district if those requirements are not followed. The Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, protects the confidentiality of student data. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, protects the confidentiality of medical information. And the Texas Education Code protects the confidentiality of certain employee personnel information. Records created in the course and scope of your employment as part of doing your job at HISD belong to the district. These records cannot be taken with you if you change jobs, change departments, or leave your employment with HISD. This includes work emails you have created and are received in connection with and/or related to your work for HISD. HISD has a policy governing how all district records must be maintained. Board Policy CPC Legal describes the requirements for managing records at all district levels. I encourage you to review and become familiar with the portions of it that are relevant to your job. There are two elements to the policy you should know. The first is records retention. Records must be managed and retained to meet legal, administrative, operational, or other requirements at the district. The second is records destruction. Destruction of records must be done securely according to records control schedules, also referred to as retention schedules, issued by the Texas State Library and Archives Commission, supplemented by the Records and Information Management Office, and approved by the HISD Board. Let's take a closer look at two key items of policy CPC legal that can help you manage records: records retention and disposition. Let's talk about records retention and some of the tools that can help you manage records. One of those tools is the retention schedule, which describes and defines how long records should be retained. It is a tool we can use to help us take the guesswork out of records management. Retention schedules also help in the disposition of records. Let's say you run out of space in a file cabinet, storage room, or shared drive. You cannot just arbitrarily start shredding or deleting records. Why? Records are evidence of actions and transactions, and if they are requested by management, auditors, or the courts, they must be available. This is why following the district's records retention schedule is important. We'll discuss more about records retention in a later module. The next tool is records disposition. Once records have met their legal, administrative, or operational requirements, they must be either properly destroyed or sent to the district records center. Destruction exceptions to this include records that are on a legal hold, subject to a request under the Texas Public Information Act, or if there is a request to inspect and review a student record. If any of these conditions exist, the record cannot be destroyed until the legal obligation has been met. District retention schedules describe legal, administrative, or operational retention periods. If no retention period exists, contact the Records and Information Management Office. As a rule, we do not keep records around just in case we need them. Retaining unnecessary records is costly and poses a potential security risk for the district. Many of the records we store contain confidential information that we are required by law to protect, and destroying it according to the retention schedule is one of the ways we ensure its protection. We, as HISD staff, are obligated to protect that information. In summary, the use of the record control or retention schedule is a key tool to managing your records. Also, school district records are local government records that could contain confidential information that must be protected. All records are property of the district, and Board Policy CPC Legal governs how records are managed, including their storage and disposition. Records management might seem a bit complicated at first, but remember, you don't have to do this alone. The Records and Information Management Office at Houston ISD is available to help. The Records and Information Management Office can help build and design your records management system, store and destroy records securely, and assist with projects. Congratulations! You have completed Module 1 of Records Management 101 for Houston ISD employees. Please proceed to Module 2, What is a Record? Or visit our webpage for additional resources. If you have any questions or need assistance, you can contact the Records and Information Management Office at recordsmanagement@houstonisd.org.